Okay, that was the music. Sorry, the music didn't
hear
play.
anything, but that's okay. Hello, folks. This is Podsquad with Pat Drake, Susan Moffat-Thomas, Wendy Card, and yours truly, Colleen Roberts. Thank you so much for joining us for Newburgh Now's podcast for December 17th, 2020. We're almost to the end of the year. I think we're all happy about that. And this is episode 168. Woo!
And we're connecting you with the people, places, and happenings in Newburgh and surrounding areas. So join in the conversation.
Yes, everybody, please. But before we get started, of course, Wendy, there's always a contest. And to be entered to win, make sure that you comment during today's show on Newburgh Now's Facebook page. All right, Wendy, what do we have for today?
Okay, today we're gonna do a Christmas trivia question, kind of like we did last week. And Kathy sent us a list of questions. So the question is, where did there arise such a clatter? It's a Christmas question. Where did there arise such a clatter?
I think I know.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of easy.
Don't forget, to be entered to win, you have to comment on Newburgh Now
right.
Facebook page, not somewhere else or where the video and podcast are shared. It has to be on the Newburgh Now Facebook page. So you'll have some time to think about it, and we'll come back and ask you again and remind some of our new viewers of the contest question. But as we always kick things off, we'd like to ask what's going on in everybody's world here recently. So Pat, I haven't seen you in forever. I'll start with you. How are you?
We're good, thank you, Colleen. Looking forward to 2021, and although quiet, looking forward to the holiday season. Miss helping Santa get all those packages we did for 25 plus years at the UPS store. All the excitement and fun, and don't miss the hard work of it though. And we're enjoying being in our new home. We bought some more Christmas decorations, and glad we've been able to ride around and go assorted places to see Christmas displays. Went up to Wilson and saw a laser light show at the Whirligig Park, and all sorts of things like that have been going on. And look forward to this Saturday, the pet parade in downtown Newburgh, starting at 9. I think 8:30 is sniff and greet. If you have a dog, bring him along or her along in a little sweater or outfit, antlers, and come and be in part of the pet parade.
Now, are they doing the photos with Santa this year with your pet?
Yeah, they are.
Awesome.
We don't have a dog, but we love them so much. We go to the parade just to have fun and see all the dogs.
You can borrow Finn. You can borrow Finn.
He's taller than I am, Wendy. I don't know.
You can ride him down the street.
Literally.
Yeah.
Aren't they calling for rain on Saturday? So we might need a spare tent to house Santa and take all those wonderful photos, but certainly something to look forward to. Yeah. And Susan Moffat-Thomas, how are you doing?
I am doing fine. I am, we are doing our best to stay safe, but we do manage to see friends, safely, socially distancing. I will just throw out, because I know a lot of people have commented on pictures I put on there on Facebook regarding my husband. He planted again this year 100 collard plants, 100. Mm-hmm. And now they're the best crop ever, and he loves it. And so he's going to spend probably every Saturday between now and who knows when cooking them. And then, of course, we just give them away and that sort of thing. But I also want to say I'm really pleased in the spirit of giving, which is, what the holiday season is about. Our Colonial NC branch of the English-speaking Union, a membership organization that I'm a part of, we were really happy to be able to give $1,000 to the English Second Language program for the Craven County schools to help with them. And on Monday, we're going to be giving $1,000 to the Craven Literacy Council. So, you know, we are very happy that we are able to do that. And everybody knows that with all of that's happened in this past year, every nonprofit can use whatever anybody can contribute. So we're happy to be a part of that. Just wish everybody a good, happy, safe holiday, and also encourage everybody to be as generous as they can.
Yes, I totally agree.
Wendy Card, how are you doing?
I'm doing. I got my Christmas tree. I'm in the Christmas spirit. I don't know why, because ever since my folks passed a couple of years back, I really haven't. It really, you know, it just hasn't been the same. But I was excited. Got the tree like 2 weeks ago, and it's not really that decorated. It's got, I think, 2 ornaments, but it's. I don't know why. I'm in the Christmas spirit, and I just feel that things are going to change. Pat, you were talking about the UPS store. You know, the UPS trucks are out there delivering vaccines, and hopefully 2021 is just going to be just going to hit the restart button, and
that's right.
Things will be good. So, yeah, that's about all I have. Besides, I've been cooking a lot.
You were saying that.
Yeah, I'm on a heart-healthy diet, although the oxygen to my brain was kind of temporary shut down. So, but it was I don't know how all that. I'm not going to get into all the details, but low sodium, low fat diet, and exercise like 30 minutes every day. That's crazy. But I feel better. I feel a lot better. It's funny how vegetables and fruits can make a big difference in your life. So I got a little extra pep in my steps. So yeah.
What kinds of foods have you been cooking that you weren't before?
Like I make the oatmeal from scratch, you know, like my mom used to do back in the day, and throw a bunch of fruit in there. And to add any sweetener to things, I add honey. But I make turkey burgers, salmon burgers. You know, I know what ingredients are going into my food versus buying prepackaged things. So,
yeah.
and it's really not that expensive. You know, a lot of people say, oh, it costs a lot more money, but it really doesn't if you plan right and freeze the ingredient, the meal. So, yeah.
Well, good. Glad things are going well for you.
Yes.
We're very happy that you're doing well, Wendy, and healthy. It would be awful if you were not here all the time doing this program and all the other good things you do.
Well, you know, I think it's important that, you know, we stop and take a breather and get some of that stress out of our heads and, you know, live a better life. So anyway.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
It's been an exciting morning in our little town. We had a convoy of wreaths that were escorted into the city this morning by law enforcement. Wreaths Across America starts on Saturday. So maybe after the pet parade, you can go by National Cemetery and see all the volunteers who are putting wreaths on the graves of our veterans in time for Christmas. So always a touching moment to see them come into the city surrounded by the Craven County Sheriff's Department and the Newburgh Police Department. And they went underneath the flag on our brand new fire rescue fire truck that has been in service a week. So it's already being of good service to our community and our veterans. So certainly happy about that. And we sent our for the first time, sent our aviation unit out there today to capture all of the escort by drone. And it was really neat.
So cool. Very cool.
I just want to mention our branch, the Colonial branch that I mentioned, we also, as a part of the Wreaths Across America, encouraged our members to buy or sponsor wreaths. We were one of 17 organizations that partnered for this project this year, and they sold over 5,000 or more than 5,000 wreaths were sponsored. And I think the graves in the cemetery, it's like 6,000 something. But it was just wonderful, the outpouring of support. I think it was a record number this year. So it's really great. And it's a wonderful way to pay tribute to all of these heroes who have given for our country.
Yes. And I would like to also give a special thanks to Kevin Yates, the local coordinator for Wreaths Across America, for the Newburgh National Cemetery. He is, I think this is his 3rd or 4th year as the local coordinator, and he has just done a tremendous job. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. Yes, great job. Yeah.
He comes before the Board of Aldermen every year, not to just brief them on the event, but, you know, talk about his needs. Certainly helping with the proper disposal of the wreaths and everything after the holidays. And so it's always nice to hear from him when he comes to talk to us about Wreaths Across America.
Yeah. And Colleen, what have you been up to? You look awfully refreshed. We haven't seen you in it seems like a long time.
It does feel like a long time. Last week, I missed all of you. I was taking a FEMA emergency management class online. And so it lasted every day from 8 until about 1:30 or so. But it was ICS 400, and it is a requirement for the management staff here at the city of Newburgh. And it's, you know, how to deal with complex incidents, how to deal with incidents when there are scarce or limited resources. And so, you know, I'm not crazy about in this COVID era having to take these classes virtually versus in person, but I will say I took the class with 27 other students from across the state. And so we were divided into 4 groups every time we had an exercise to do. And some of the exercises were multiple incidents going on at the same time, some close together, some not, and how you would deal with them on every level, you know, from public relations to sending out rescue resources. But I have to say that some of the other people that were on there, it's great to collaborate with others, listen to their stories, learn from their experiences. Some of the folks, a large portion of the class actually was from Winston-Salem and Forsyth County. And so they asked questions of me about Florence, and I asked questions of them about the Party Rock fire last year, because a lot of them were deployed to the mountains to assist in that effort. And so it was just neat to, you know, they don't have the Florence type of flooding there that we have. And so it was neat to listen and learn from them. So that was last week, and sorry I missed all of you. I really wish some days that the class would have been over earlier in the day. It was a little tough to endure, you know, because you see all this other work in your daily, you know, work piling up that you can't quite get to. But it was a great class, and I passed the exam. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to mention real quick, I know almost no one likes a survey, and I get that. But speaking of Florence, Newburgh really has an opportunity to become a national model in not just hazard mitigation, but in resiliency. And how do we build upon and improve our resiliency here in Newburgh? We have partnered with several consultants to help us in this effort to put together a comprehensive hazard mitigation plan. And they've launched their second survey in this effort. Okay, so we have these consultants coming in from out of town. They weren't here for Florence. They weren't here for Matthew. So these surveys really help them gather data. We've launched our second one, and I hope folks who are in Newburgh, particularly if you were affected by Florence or past hurricanes, to please go and take it. Go to newburghnc.gov/resiliency. And that's where the survey is. At last check, I think we had about 104 people had taken it, which is great, but we need more. So, and this one speaks to community values, some of our historic assets here in Newburgh. And so we'd really like to, we can tell our consultants all we want that, we had 10.41 feet of storm surge, but it helps to hear from the folks who lived it when Florence came ashore a couple of years ago. So I hope folks will participate.
Now, Colleen,
Yes.
Would you say once more what you go to do that?
We have a page on our website that has all kinds of information about the plan on it. And it also has the link to the survey. It's newburghnc.gov/resiliency. You'll see a link to the survey. You'll see how you can sign up for resiliency updates via email as we have or make progress in this plan. We'll keep you informed via email, and we don't send a ton of emails. So don't worry that we're going to overwhelm your mailbox, because we don't do that.
There is a concern.
Yeah, so a lot going on, and a survey over the holidays is probably kind of tough, but we're going to pad the back end of this survey, so you will have a lot of opportunity in January to take it as well.
All right.
And I mailed my last package today, so I think I'm ready for Christmas now in terms of shipping stuff out. So
It's good you did, with all the packages being mailed. I think when you go to the post office, the line is way out. When you go to the UPS store, the line is out into the parking lot. So,
yes.
If you haven't mailed it, you just may not be lucky enough to have your person get it in time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then too, you've got to factor in the bad weather everybody had. My family's about an hour outside of New York City, and I know there's going to be weather delay.
Yeah.
We finished ours and got them off too, Colleen, a little earlier this week. But, I know that they're probably sitting in Virginia or maybe made it up to New Jersey before the snow hit. So hopefully in time for the grandkids to get them.
Yeah. Yeah. And my sister, one of my sisters said, hey, you guys, let's just do cards and then donate to your local whoever. And I love that idea because number one, I like to give, but I hate shopping, so it saved me from what am I going to buy so-and-so this year, so I mean, that's always an option, and why not,
My stepsister did that this year for the first time. And she said, since we have limits on travel and seeing each other, and I'm not going to be able to watch you open your gift and, things like that. She said, if you can submit to me, a list or a link to a charity that you'd like a donation sent to, I will send a donation in your name. And I thought it was a wonderful idea.
It is.
Yeah, it's great, especially if you don't like shopping. And I did a Zoom call for the very first time with my sisters and my niece and my great nieces. Anyway, on Thanksgiving, and it was a lot of fun. I was shocked by how fun it was. Although we have fun every week here on Zoom. It was they were eating, everyone was eating around their tables. It was wild. It kind of reminded me of Warning Will Rogers. What was that? Lost in Space. How they would imagine the future to be. So it was a lot of fun. So you guys have, and Pat, you had your birthday with the Zoom call, right?
I did. We did Zoom. Yeah, my 17-year-old granddaughter set it up. But yeah, I actually turned 70, and my kids had. Well, thank you. I'm very proud of it. You know, they set up the Zoom, and it was wonderful to be able to do that. You know, and they're so tech savvy. I have another thought on your gifts too. You know, you're talking about donations. Those who follow me on Facebook or know me a little bit, I'm a huge panda bear fan, and also the wild horses, whether it be Corolla or Shackleford. And you can adopt a panda or adopt a horse through those organizations or through the zoo, like the Smithsonian or Cincinnati Zoo. You make a gift, and to your whoever you're sending that to, they'll send a picture of the animal and a little certificate. So you really almost don't do anything other than make the donation online, and you're helping a good cause. And particularly the horses, you know, the smaller organizations. I mean, somebody like the Smithsonian is going to have a lot of resources for funds and grants. But Corolla or Shackleford, their resources are going to be minimal, just like our own nonprofits.
That is awesome. I did not know about the horses. So I got to do that for my great nieces. Yeah, that's cool. Maybe they'll come down to North Carolina one of these years. So yeah, that's cool.
I didn't know about that either, but the other benefit of, you know, sharing these links and lists with your family who want to donate is it spreads the wealth of information. You know, maybe an organization they've never heard of, and so now you're, you know, spreading awareness of these different causes. So anyway, very good opportunity to give, spread the love, and help teach others about some of the organizations that are out there. So
yes, happy, joy. Yes.
Yeah. So I think we have some guests, right, Wendy?
Yes. Let's bring. We have two guests. We have Chris Baker and Jeff Shulze. You want to bring Chris in first?
Okay. Sure.
He's been in the waiting room
Chris
longer.
Baker is he's an adult services librarian with the Newburgh Craven County Public Library, and has been having a good time in the waiting room, I think.
There he is.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
All right. There we go.
Here we go. How are you?
I'm well. How about y'all?
We're so glad thank you for joining us.
Oh,
yes.
Sure. I've been enjoying this. I enjoyed the pre-show bottle talk. I've got to resurrect my bottle collection. I did that in college for a good bit, and so I've got to get that back going. I didn't know that was such a thing anymore. So thank you. That's been fun to hear about anyway.
So very cool.
You bridged the digital divide and figured out how to get into our Zoom room.
We have bridged the digital divide as best we can.
Well, awesome. It's nice to finally meet you virtually. So
Absolutely.
Yeah. You have so much going on.
I'm sorry?
You have so much going on at the Newburgh Craven
County
Public Library. What's the official name?
Well, we are the Newburgh Craven County Public Library here in Newburgh, and then we are part of the Craven-Pimlico Regional Library System that combines Craven County and Pimlico counties.
Okay.
So that's why we see CPRL guest on your name.
It is. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is Carteret no longer a part of the system?
No, ma'am, they're not. They're not. They split in July of this year.
Okay.
Before I got here, I've been here since August, so I don't know much about that except that they've moved on to a different library system.
So tell us a little bit about what you do at the library.
Sure. Well, as you mentioned, I am the adult services librarian here at the Newburgh Craven County Public Library. And we are working on bridging that digital divide. We this past week, we read the book, The Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek by Kim Michelle Richardson, who, if you're familiar with the story or not familiar with the story, it's about the Works Public Administration pack horse librarians in the 1920s and 1930s of the Great Depression in Kentucky. And the gist of that story, there's some backstories as well, but it was that librarians were going out to meet the public where they could and how they could. And so we're doing that. We are slowly but surely getting our feet under us in the 21st century as far as COVID-19 is concerned. And so that most of my job is working on how to get us out and about on the internet, and trying to find new ways to reach folks, like podcasts, like digital book clubs instead of meeting in person, and reaching out with our digital resources, all the different ways that you can get a book in your hand, even if it isn't a paper copy.
I read that book, Chris. It was an excellent read, so I'm sure that you'll have a lot of interest.
It was a good discussion. That was actually the biggest discussion we'd had since I got here. Thanks to we have got the word out through lots of different through Wendy, got the word out about that, and that's just some of what we're doing. We've got quite a bit of things going on, and ways to get to the library, even if coming into the library isn't something that you can do.
Chris, you said you came here in August?
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Now, where did you move from?
Well, I was working at Halifax, South Boston Public Libraries up in South Boston, Virginia. And I was the branch manager there for about 2 years. Before that, I was actually a teacher. I've taught a couple different places. So I made the switch to libraries and have enjoyed it ever since.
How did you pick Newburgh?
Oh, that's a good story. So I worked at William Peace University in Raleigh for 2 years, and there are some deep William Peace connections or deep Newburgh connections at William Peace. And a friend of mine, I'd come down here for a couple times through a friend of mine. And when the position opened up, I said, "Oh gosh, I love Newburgh." So I came on down.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Very glad you're here. So what else is going on at the library?
Well, we've got our digital book club. I'll plug that real quick. We meet on the fourth Tuesdays of each month at 6 o'clock. So that will be January 26th, coming up in January. We are reading for January. We are reading the book Big Fish, which is the subtitle is, and I love the subtitle. The subtitle is A Novel of Mythic Proportions, and it is by Daniel Wallace. He's a North Carolina author, and so we've got that. We also have the movie, and we're going to talk a little bit about the differences between the movie Big Fish that had Ewan McGregor in it, and I think the director escapes my name, or the director's name escapes my mind, but we're going to talk a little bit about the movie and the book to compare the two. We've got lots of ways that you can come into the library. We are open for the public. You can come in and do a browsing appointment. Those are 30 minutes at a time. We've got our public access computers as well. You can make appointments, or you can walk in and we can get you set up with that. We've got our curbside service. If coming into the library if you're not comfortable with that, we're perfectly fine with that. If you know the books that you want, we can get those books for you, and we run them out. You pull up under the parking lot or up under the overhang, and we run those books out to you. We've also got right now, we've got our statewide read program that's going on through the Library of North Carolina. We've got information on that on our website, which is cpcrl.org. You can take a look at all that information. We are working right now too on digital story times, which have become quite popular in the library world. And you can check those out on our social media as well. So we've got a lot of stuff going on. We're working on getting out and about to the public, either online or if we can do some things socially distanced, and get that out and about.
Do you have a story hour for children virtually?
I'm sorry?
Now? Do you have a story time or story hour for children now virtually?
We do. Here in Newburgh, those are on Fridays, and they post those on Facebook. And it's really kind of been, I was in charge of some of those in my library in Virginia, and I did not like doing them in person. But when there is nobody there, you can do quite a bit more, and it seems much more liberating, if you will. You can kind of stretch out and do, you can do some different things that you might not do as a in person. So those are a lot of fun. And we do story times, and our mascot Booker Bear comes out and has a good time with those. So yeah, folks can check those out on our Facebook page.
Very cool.
Chris, I know a lot of people are, potentially handling books, and, how are you operating and trying to maintain, kind of COVID friendly restrictions and things?
That's actually a great question. And there's been, from COVID-19 minute one, we had the American Library Association came out with some pretty good research about how to handle that. What happens here at Newburgh and in the other libraries as well is the book will come in, and we set it off we handle it with gloves. We set it off into quarantine, and that book goes into quarantine for 4 days. And then when it's done in the quarantine area, we check it back in, and then we wipe it down. We've got cleaning components that we use to wipe that down and clean it off. And then that book will sit usually for a day and a half, even after having been cleaned, before it gets put back on the shelves. So yeah, we're doing that. We have protective gear. We all wear masks here at the library. I know in previous discussions, you guys have really very, very wisely encouraged mask use. We all have masks on as staff. We really stress masks being worn by patrons. And then also with our computers, we clean those down after every use. As soon as the person steps up and gets logged out of the computer, we come in and we clean down the CPU and the keyboards and the screen and the whole area. So we do quite a bit of cleaning, and we've got protective screens up where there would be face-to-face communications. We've got that.
Very nice.
Yeah.
It has been, we are actually working on with our Kellenberger room, our archivist. One of the cool things that libraries are doing, and libraries do traditionally anyway, is they archive as things happen. And so that has been, there's been a wellspring of COVID-19 archives. And so we're working on that as something new comes up. And if we have to change something or do something, we'll take a picture and get that live capture. And then we put that in our archive as well. So that's actually turning lemonade from lemons, in the sense that we are trying to encourage archiving in the here and now.
Very cool. That is really cool, because when this all started, I'm not sure about you guys, but I can be a little sometimes I go down a rabbit hole with information, and I was just reading anything I could about the influenza of 1918, and too bad they didn't have that that archiving in as you're doing right now. So that's wonderful. That's great. Yeah.
There are a lot of things. A lot of libraries have even done a COVID-19 journal where people could, give kind of a brief history of their experience in COVID-19. I know my home library back home in Kingsport, Tennessee, they did that. And during lockdown, I went home to be with my family. And I did that, and it was really, it's been interesting to hear and see what people have. And at that point, we thought it might be 2 or 3 weeks, and so there was still that, oh boy, this could be a great adventure. And then here we are, 6 or 7 months into it now. But it's been interesting to see that track and how people have, you know, that enthusiasm of we can do this, and then now we've reached that point. But it's been really interesting. It's been really information specialists and librarians typically have that mind for the history, even in the here and now, and so they do a good job of capturing things while they can, so that in the future.
Well, you know, I think people tend to think of history as something that happened a long time ago, and they don't realize that today is history, you know, and it will be something. All these events will be, you know, a part of research and all in the future, but we are experiencing a really historic time.
Yeah, and everyone, each of us has our own living history of
Absolutely.
COVID, you know, so it's really, it's very interesting. And Chris, we loved having you, and
absolutely.
We hope you come back and give us some updates as
sure. Anytime we can help out. And I will say this too. I preach the gospel of Newburgh any chance I can. It's just been such a fun place to be. And just such the spirit of Newburgh is so strong. And through things like this, it's been a real blast to be here. Seeing how much you guys love Newburgh and how much the people of Newburgh really are always active in Newburgh. It's been nice to see.
Well,
Remind us one more time how to find out more about the library. What was the link?
Sure, it's cpcrl.org. So it's the old website, Craven, Pamlico, Carteret Regional Library.org.
Okay.
So yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Yay. I'm glad we finally connected. So.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime.
All right. Well, have a great day, and
have a good holiday.
All right.
Yes,
everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Okay. Bye-bye.
I'm glad we got to meet and connect with him. He has a lot going on.
Yeah, he does.
Energetic guy.
Nice guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I hope things can stay virtual after. They may not necessarily have to be virtual, but it gives an opportunity to anybody who's homebound, recovering possibly from some type of surgery or illness or having a baby, and to be able to participate virtually just opens up a whole new world to some folks who aren't out and about, even with the past COVID.
Very good point.
Yes,
definitely. And it saves money on traveling, right? I'm afraid of flying, so I'm like, hey, I'll get you on a Zoom call.
I know, I'm like, I'm just not there yet, so.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
So social media minute, maybe?
Yes. We also have Jeff, so we can't.
Yes, Jeff Schultz posted the link for me about resiliency on the Facebook Live. So thanks for doing that for us, Jeff. Okay. I don't see anybody else, but maybe you should mention the contest question again before we let Jeff in, maybe?
Yes, and the contest is a Christmas trivia question, and it is, where did there arise such a clatter? And just to let you know what we're doing with the contest right now, we've changed it up a little bit. The prize, we're getting gift certificates from local businesses, and we're giving those away instead of like doing a grab bag. So we've kind of changed it up a little bit, and we're picking a different local business each time. So
thank you, local businesses.
Yeah, but I mean, we're buying it, trying to support the local businesses and get people in the doors if people haven't, been in. So
especially at a time when they need it.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's the least we can do. It's yeah. So, and where are we at? We're at
Do we want to talk to Jeff?
Let's talk to Jeff.
Let's talk to Jeff. He is with the Volt Center and is going to talk about the upcoming masonry courses offered by Craven Community College. He and his wife are some of our favorite guests.
Yes, and I was going to ask his wife, but I was waiting. There was a guest that was pending, so that's why I didn't ask Amy. There he is.
Hey, ladies.
How are you?
Hi,
I'm
Jeff.
doing great. I'm doing great.
Kind of a chilly, brisk day outside, but at least the sun's out. Looks
It's
like
gorgeous. I'm glad this call is today and not yesterday. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
horrible here.
For sure.
But anyway, can you tell where I'm at right now besides outside?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know where you're at, but I'm not going to give it away yet.
All right. Well, I'm going to walk in. I got to put this COVID mask on for a minute because I'm going to walk in and we're going through the entrance of the diesel program garage here. I got two things to show you today. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Let me flip around so you're not staring at me. All right. This is Command Central in here. Say hi to Eddie Foster, Executive Director here.
Hey, Eddie. How are you?
Eddie?
Doing great, doing great.
You finally have some furniture in the office.
Yeah.
He does. I'll tell you what, the city of Newburgh, the countertops that they put out here are incredible.
Wow, is that by Precision Molding?
I don't have that in my office.
I don't know the answer to that actually. But anyway, let me take you through here. We're about to start classes here in January for diesel technology systems. So this is the size of our classroom here. And I'll take you out through the shop area here. We've got a second makeshift class out here in this area. And I'll tell you what, this place is incredible what the city of Newburgh did to renovate and flip this thing around into a fantastic training center here. It's all climate controlled. I can take my mask off now. It's all climate controlled. The area here, we've got some engines coming on already in. We've got some donations from Caterpillar, from Volvo. Gosh, I hope I'm not missing a few. There is a yacht engine coming from Cape Fear Community College. They're taking one, they're giving us the other. But we're going to be teaching all about diesel systems, diesel technology program. These things are used, well, actually, this is a new engine that was donated to us. But some of these are, out of service engines. Some of them are live engines. They will work. We don't have the one in here yet that has a transmission and all with it. But the engines have been steam cleaned. Courtesy of Coastal Diesel, they were kind enough to donate or loan to us a diesel or electric powered hot water steam pressure washer. So all the tables you're looking at here, these were made by our welding program here at the Volt Center. So all of these were cut from the raw metal so that we have some great workstations to work on. We repurposed where we could some older workstations from the Newburgh campus and Havelock campus. So we really have a nice setup in here for this.
Mm-hmm.
It is looking good in there. And those engines look like a lot of parts.
There is a lot of parts. This is actually this might have actually been from a boat. This little one, like a sailboat, something like that. But yeah, there is a lot to learn on these, and it's quite lengthy. It takes almost 2 college semester from January till about May to finish one of these programs.
Wow.
So the best part about all of this, the cost for the student is $0.
Wow, that's amazing.
Now, let me tell you why it's $0 though. We have the governor's emergency education emergency resiliency. There's that word again, resiliency. I'll tell you what, they're going to contribute up to $750 for education costs here if you were impacted by COVID-19. Who's been impacted by COVID? Put your hand up. Everyone around this area has been impacted. Most of them were loss of wages. So here's an opportunity they're going to provide you up to $750. The cost of this class, get in right now if there's still room, $180 to get into the class.
Wow,
but you're
that's
getting
awesome.
up to $750 in reimbursement with this grant. So if you need supplies, books, and we have that in the construction trades classes too. There's books students need. Now they're going to help you with that.
Jeff, when they finish the 2 semesters, are they accredited to go out and be able to get a job, or does it continue?
No, we do have some credentialing that's going to be provided here as well. We actually do the proctoring and the testing, so they will actually get those credentials. It's I don't have the actual names right now, but I believe it's on our website. If you go to cravencc.edu/Volt, the listings are there for that. I'm going to move you out here for a minute, but keep asking me other questions as I move around.
You've come a long way.
Phenomenal.
This is amazing.
We have, we've got newer programs besides this. You're going to be walking by one of these here, our carpentry class, give you an idea what they've been doing. This looks like just like a roof, makeshift roof. They've built this shed.
Nice.
Isn't that fantastic? And this is work in progress, but we'll have in 2021.
Solar.
Guess what? Yep.
Wow.
Yep. This is actually a fully functional solar panel right now. Right now we're going through train the trainers programs here. So that's up and coming. We should see that for 2021. And welding has come a long way as well. We actually have one of our welding instructors, Josh, here right now. He's helping. They've been helping with the tables and stands. Here's one of the ones he's making right now. Say hi, Josh.
Hi, Josh.
Hey,
Hi, Josh.
Look at all that detail he's been doing on this.
Wow, that's awesome.
So that is part of this whole thing is that each one of these little curtains here separates the little workstations for the students. We got about 5 days here, maybe 4 right now, maybe 4. Yeah, we've got a total of 5 days. I'm going to move along again. We have another class that's running right now inside the Volt Center, and that is our Manufacturing Pathways class. How much time do I have?
You got plenty of time. You're good.
Okay.
Keep going.
I still got to talk about Mason, too. Speaking of Mason, there's bricks here. Lots of bricks at the Volt Center, okay? Our Mason instructors want to talk to the city of Newburgh if we can help them repoint some of these bad joints here.
We would love that.
Yeah.
All right. We're just walking through one of the classrooms here. Here's Terry, one of our recruiters, to help get the students into the class.
Hi, Terry.
She's working hard right now with making some of the marketing materials and handouts. All right, I got to put on my muffler again so you can't hear me as well. So we have right now a manufacturing class running for BSH. So they're hard at work right now on the assembly line processes. So wave hi.
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 This is the last class of the year, by the way.
Wow.
And the hardest working person here at the Volt Center, that's our hardest working person. As you can see, she's hard working right now with another student. Get him registered.
Aw.
Fantastic.
All right, let me head back outside.
Jeff, while you're on your way outside, I just want to say, I think the Volt Center is absolutely the greatest happening for this community, in particular when so many of those kids or adults go through the program. The minute they finish, they have a job, they're earning good money. It is just phenomenal.
It is. We're looking at, we just had a tour yesterday with some local interests. Dr. Stats was over here too. Gary Boucher was over here. And we were just sharing with them, some of the accolades. I mean, it just blew us away what we were able to do in 2019. by moving in June of 2019, by the time Christmas break hit, I mean, I think they thought a success would be if we had 100 people come through the program. I think we were at about 300, 400 at the Christmas break. Following that, going into 2020, we had something called COVID that impacted us. And, you know, we tirelessly worked through the shutdown to make sure we had the ability to help students, you know, maybe go virtually, do all the knowledge-based training first. And then when the governor opened up the state again in phases, we were able to come back and start doing all the hands-on training instead of doing the classroom work. So that worked out well. But you're talking about numbers and getting people jobs between this and the partnerships with Bosch and Moen and Dradura, Chatsworth Products. I mean, the list goes on and on. They're getting jobs, and we're well over, don't quote me on this, but I think it was around 100, 160 jobs right now that individuals got. And there's promotions, and those are the known jobs and promotions, because a lot of the students will not share that directly with us. So,
well, the other part is, it is an opportunity that other companies want to locate here, because there are the skilled laborers that years ago, that was a real challenge to attract industry, because we just didn't have the skilled workers. So, I mean, this is just so phenomenal. I just, you know,
we just got more. You know, you talk about that with the partnerships and all, and we're constantly opening up more doors and more opportunities. We just had another company come looking for work too in the welding assembly line manufacturing industry, and they're going to help provide the equipment. I mean, you can't ask enough for what these companies, because they have the need. And if we can get all the instructors, then we can make it happen for them.
Is that
you guys are rocking it?
Are you having a challenge getting the instructors to be that are qualified to teach?
Yeah, it comes and goes. You know, our best instructors are those that are semi-retired, or they might be part owners in the business that can help, you know. And again, they see the need. So they're like, man, if I want to get these people, I've really got to pitch in and help too, get them trained. So that's been helping. But yeah, we have it, you know, we have instructors that have life changes as well. And when that happens, then, you know, our biggest concern right now is the students want classes, and we have to tell them they're sold out because we have space issues. But, you know, we get through that. We're making it happen. You know, when we get that challenge, okay, let's figure out, what was the last phrase? Turn those lemonades or lemons into lemonade,
lemons into lemonade.
So
that's what we're doing.
Are the masonry classes already full?
No, I think we just put it on about 4 or 5 days ago. And we just did a press release a couple days ago. Thank you, by the way. I saw that on the website.
Yay.
Yeah.
And I think we're up to 3 or 4 students, but we're only taking 9 in that class. Okay. And again, gear scholarships. How much is that going to cost them out of pocket? 0. Oh. So great opportunity. The class will be running Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights. Starting in January, I believe it's January 11th. It'll go till about the end of April. Then we have a level 2 class that'll start up sort of into the summertime. It'll be like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday night, 5:30 to 9:30. And then we'll have another level 1 for the fall semester for our first year. And hopefully by the springtime, we'll have a daytime class as well.
Wow.
That's fantastic. Man,
do you ever rest? Jeff Schultz, do you ever rest?
Starting at 1 o'clock on December 22nd, I will be resting.
Jeff, I just have one last question. With all the classes offered, I know it's Craven County, but do you have others from outside of Craven County now who are applying, because this does offer such wonderful opportunities for, you know, getting a job quickly once you are accredited?
Well, we just had a student come through our carpentry construction class. These certifications they get are through NCCR. This student came from Atlantic, North Carolina. Beaufort, I think that's Beaufort County.
Yeah.
Right. We have a student right now in the class. He's coming from Swansboro every day, Jacksonville. So Greenville. Yes, they're coming from other areas. Quite a few from Pamlico. But we're not stealing students. They're coming here because we have what they need.
Yes,
Right.
agreed.
Right.
That's wonderful. Wow.
Well,
Amazing.
Jeff,
Kudos to Jeff
are
and the whole
wonderful.
college system.
yes, you are just rocking it, as Wendy said over there.
You're the man.
Well, we all are. It's not just me. It's between Eddie and Antoinette and myself. We try to get the students into the class, but I tell you what, it's a team effort. We didn't get that leadership from Gary Boucher and Dr. Stats and the whole leadership team. We can't make this happen ourselves.
That's so true. And you're a great team. We really appreciate you taking time today. I know you're probably trying to wrap things up for a Christmas break. And what are you and Amy doing this Christmas? Anything special?
Yeah, I'm replacing a bathroom faucet in the tub and shower. I'm going to bake a couple of home brews for sure. But we're not going anywhere. We're just staying home. We're staying home and just relaxing.
Oh, good.
Well, good for you. cravencc.edu/Volt will get you more information on the Volt Center and some of the offerings there. And Jeff, I hope you and Amy have a great holiday. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to all of you too.
Great
Bye.
seeing you. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Woohoo. Bye.
Honestly, I just think the Volt Center is just what a wonderful thing for our community.
Absolutely. And the other thing we didn't mention is not just the people graduating, getting certified, getting jobs. We've had several folks who have started their own businesses. So definitely an economic development tool to bring local business to Newburgh too. So, and congratulations to those new small business owners. So a fantastic partnership with the college.
Yeah, the Small Business Center. And Deborah she left, right?
She did. Now she is part of the faculty at the college.
Right. And who took over her position? Do you know? Was there an announcement made yet?
Anybody? Have they yet?
Yeah. I haven't heard anything. I just didn't know if y'all heard it through the grapevine.
I had not. So, all right.
Wow. Well, I think we have a minute or two left.
Yes.
So we got to announce the answer.
That's right.
Okay, for those listening out there, the question is Christmas themed, and it is, where did there arise such a clatter? Podsquad, does anyone know?
This one I thought was kind of easy.
Yeah, I agree.
What's the answer, Susan Moffat-Thomas?
It's from the Christmas. Oh God! The night before Christmas, there rose such a clatter.
The roof.
The what?
Yes.
The roof.
The roof.
Up on the rooftop.
Up on the rooftop.
That's what I thought, but the answer is on the lawn.
What?
Now that was from. I have to double check the source.
Maybe it's a modern version.
I thought it was on the roof.
Of the story.
When out on the roof, there arose such a clatter.
Such a clatter.
From my bed to see what was the matter.
That's right.
Where did there arise such a clatter? Yeah, I thought for sure it was the night before Christmas.
And all through the house.
Okay, this is UK, so this is British here. And I can't see my screen. Oh, here we go. Where's my
Are you verifying?
I'm trying.
Didn't you just
here
read
we go.
it?
And then in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turned around, down the chimney, St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all put. Where's the clatter at?
It's earlier in the poem.
Yeah, you have to, go back.
I should have turned up my screen here. Oh, here we go. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter.
That's some kind of alternate version.
Away to the window I flew with a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below. So yeah.
we weren't as knowledgeable as we thought we were.
That was I thought for sure it was the roof. So I'm gonna investigate that after this.
Yeah, I think you need to.
So who won?
Nobody guessed. Thank goodness. So did anyone think it was on the lawn?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
You can't have clatter on the lawn.
Yeah.
I agree.
Agreed.
Unless you're in New York or up in New England right now with the ice, right?
With ice.
Well, it'd be hard to go down the chimney when you're on the lawn.
That's
anyway.
Do you have a crazy joke for us today, Miss Wendy?
That wasn't the joke. No, I'm just joking.
The joke was on us.
All right. Yeah, I do. Here's the joke. What do you get when you cross a snowman with a vampire? Do, 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 do. Anyone?
Give it to us.
Frostbite.
Oh.
Wah, wah, wah.
What are we going to do with you, Miss Wendy?
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to end a wonderful time with a lot of good laughs.
I do. Let's do a couple of announcements in case we need to fill up the total, fill in some time here. Let's do
we have the Newburgh Breakfast Rotary Club.
Yes.
Okay. President Don Mash presented a check for $2,000 to Dr. Ray Statz. We were just talking about him, the president of Craven Community College. This allows for a scholarship of $1,000 to a student enrolled in the college's nursing program, and then 5 $200 scholarships for students attending the Volt Center. So that will definitely be another asset, including the COVID relief, the $750 that you can get for classes there. So thank you to the Newburgh Breakfast Rotary Club for presenting those checks and making the investment in those scholarships. And we have some more stuff too.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, do y'all know of any other nativity drive-through? I know there's one drive-through live nativity at Cherry Point Baptist Church, located at 212 Church Road in Havelock, and that's December 21st through the 23rd from 6 to 7 p.m. I'm not sure about any other, but that's always a fun thing to watch, to get in the spirit.
Live nativity.
Yeah, and I just want to note again, I think I already kind of mentioned it, but the future is looking brighter on the COVID front as vaccines are in Eastern North Carolina. Healthcare workers and first responders received their first of 2 injections, at Carolina East yesterday, December 16th. If all goes well, the vaccine should be available to the public next year. In the meantime, please wear a mask, watch your distance, and wash your hands. And we will be back in January. We're going to see everyone next year. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. Can't wait.
I know.
That's right.
I can't either. Of course, we want you to let us know if you'd like to be a guest in the new year, the better year, or if you have any questions or suggestions, and you can do that by calling 252-259-6853. You can also send an email to info@newburnnow.com. And as Wendy said, the next time we will join you will be on January 7th from 1 to 2 p.m. We will Zoom live again on the Newburgh Now Facebook page. The video and audio will be uploaded, as always, to newburnnow.com, but also to YouTube, iTunes, and wherever you listen to podcasts. So you can also listen to the show on Newburn's News Talk radio station, WNOS 103.9 FM, if you tune in every Wednesday at 8 o'clock in the morning or at 5 o'clock at night. So, yeah, I hope everybody has a super wonderful Christmas and New Year's, and we'll see you next
holidays. Yeah.
Yes.
We'll see you next year. Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Always great to see everyone.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks
everyone.
for watching. Have a great day.
Wendy, tell me.